Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Actually interesting, in this material world, everybody goes through problem. Even the family of Lord Shiva had problem. Brahma had problem. He went behind his daughter. Even Krishna had problem. His first wife's first son, Pradyumna, he was kidnapped. So for many years, Rukmini didn't had his first son. She has to live in separation from him. He was kidnapped from the when he was just born only. So he was not knowing who are his parents. Now, but there is a difference. When Krishna does its Leela, there is pleasure in it, there is no suffering. It looks apparently like suffering, even Rukmini is crying or whatever happens, it's pleasure. When it happens to Lord Shiva, it is chaya. It is almost looks like suffering, but they also don't suffer. And when it happens to Brahma, then it's a conditioning little bit, which is to teach lessons for the living entities. And now it happens to all of us. This is also actually illusion, whatever happens to us. But unfortunately, we so much identify with the illusion and we suffer. Lord Shiva don't identify, he don't suffer. Brahma, he could give up his material body, his subtle body, and then the mentality is given up by Brahma. But for us, we cannot give up our mentality. We cannot also not identify. If something happens to our uh, family members or something, immediately affects us. It don't affect these great personalities. It affects us. So even though problems are there for all, but there is different types of sufferings. Most suffering is us because we are attached. And for Krishna, it is Leela. He is also having so many things, but he is always enjoying. And it happens to devotees, Krishna's devotees. That is Lord's arrangement to bring them more closer to him. So that is also Leela of the Lord. Only persons who are suffering is ourselves. We don't know why things are happening to us, and because we are so much attached to the body. Ultimately, it's a lesson for us to come out of that bodily conception. But one important thing is everybody has problems. Even see such a big exalted family like Lord Shiva. And he is such a nice person. Nobody can become enemy for him. Still, he got enemies in this metal world. Krishna having enemies, that's acceptable because Krishna does things like that, and there are demons. Krishna is so loving father, but still there are so many living entities who want to compete with Krishna and they become envious of him. That is understandable because Krishna is enjoying, I also want to enjoy. But when it comes to Lord Shiva is not even enjoying. He's always just, you know, he's staying in a most humble way. Even for him also, material nature is so cruel that even Shiva, there are people who are envious of Lord Shiva for no reason. He is such a nice person. You see, this metal world, it does not spare even people like Lord Shiva. And even Brahma, everybody is neutral because everybody is born from Brahma. But even Brahma had to go a very, some humiliating situation. He got attracted to his own daughter. So metal nature does not spare anyone. And Krishna was also have to go. Shamantaka jewel past. Of course, for Krishna, we cannot count anything. Everything he enjoys only. So it's exception. But remaining all, they have to go through. Of course, Shiva, he is aloof from all the things that are happening here. Chaya, he's in a shadow way he gets affected. But rest of us, we are directly affected. So we are in a very unfortunate situation in that way. So here we are seeing, and see one more important thing here, what I'm understanding is like uh, there is no envy in love. If there is love, you don't have this jealousy. Like when the true love is not jealous. The gopis, when they ran to Krishna, thousands of gopis are running to Krishna, and Krishna called by playing his flute. At the same time, we'll not hear that one gopi is trying to put a hurdle in the on the pathway of another gopi. They are not running for themselves because they are running for the sake of Krishna. They want to serve him. And Krishna is ready to accept their service. They are not trying to put the leg in between the other gopis, so she will fall down only, I'll go to Krishna. No. Because love is something completely different. There is no jealousy in love. So here, Lord Shiva is in complete love for all living entities. So he's not jealous or envious. Because when we have this jealousy, malice, envy, it destroys love. This is actually enough. This jealousy, anger, envy in relation to any living entity is something that is ultimately directed to Krishna only. Because Krishna is in everyone's heart, in every creature. So Krishna is everywhere. So when you have jealousy generated by a sense of like no this I want. So we will cause concern to other living beings and we will cause pain to other living beings. And as a result, we will hurt Krishna also. And Krishna don't like it. So what interferes with the development of our love is the development of our love for Krishna is hindered by what we constantly do and like which he does not like. That is what but bhakti means anukulyane Krishna anushilam. So when we are doing one thing and but only what we want love, but we are constantly doing that he does not like only. That is the problem. Like everybody is a patient in this material world. We are only seeing that faults. Like uh, everybody follows politics, then they are very happy. Modi wins and Rahul Gandhi gets defeated. But actually, that is also one type of cruelty that is there in our heart. Krishna will not like it. If you are saying, and some people say this also, to hate this person is pure devotional service. That is also devotion. No, Krishna will not like. Like somebody is get defeated. If I am feeling happy in others' pain, that means I am going away from Krishna. So nobody's pain should cause pleasure for us. That's what is against our bhakti. So problem is we need to get rid of the problem from our heart. The problem is very deep rooted. And of course, I am also part. I'm not aware. I am not in that state where I can say that I am not. I am so much having, and I also enjoy others people suffering, which is not good. I know. By why I'm speaking is I don't want it. That's why I'm trying to speak it again and again. At least this I might have told at least 10 times now because I want to get rid of this problem. And this is here also we see Lord Shiva is so clear. He is going to say this also. And I'm meditating on Lord. I love all living entities. I'm not envious of anyone. He's so clear about it. Why after so many years of practice, why we are seeing the same conditioning is this is the because of this reason. We are walking, we are going ahead every day 100 kilometers in bhakti by our chanting, our sadhana, and 99 kilometers we are coming back because we are of this hostile and mentality which we are having. That is the cause we are making only 1 kilometer progress in spite of 100 kilometers of work. What is happening? Any negative thought, if I am enjoying even comparing with others, I am a better devotee than him. I will show that I am better than him. Or hearing negative, even something bad about others, I am feeling happy. Like no, nowadays in news, like some I'll just tell this is if election somebody is getting defeated, sports somebody is getting defeated because I identify so much with my country because of Dehatma Buddhi, my family, my things. Then anything somebody did wrong to me, and if they are getting suffering, I'm very happy. It won't work. Now we may say, oh, Pandavas, they also did they did take revenge? No, Pandavas did not have this mentality. They didn't want any revengeful mentality. The proof is when Ashwatthama killed five sons of Draupadi along with two of her brothers, Dushtadumna and Shikhandi are brothers of Draupadi. All seven were killed for Draupadi. And Draupadi says, okay, don't no need to kill Ashwatthama, leave him. And all Pandavas said, okay, leave him. Arjuna said, everybody said. Bhima was upset. Why he is upset, Bhima? He said he is going to again trouble you, that's why punish him. And same thing Ashwadharana, when he's released, when he was left, he again releases Brahmastras. But they are not envious. That is the reason Krishna likes Pandavas. Even though that person Ashwatthama did such a great harm to them, still they forgive. That's why Krishna is always he's staying with Pandavas because of this reason. They don't keep any malice for anyone. For us also to progress, any negativity, my mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, my mother, sister, brother, this friend, whatever, something or other in this material world is like that. Somebody will definitely is there. Krishna arranges in such a way to show our negative things in front of us. If I am seeing negative in others, it's a proof that they are all existing in my heart. That is the proof. If I don't seeing anything, that means I don't have only. The world is a reflection. It's a reflection of what is there in my heart. So if I am seeing all this negativity in any of these people around me, and I can happily assume that they are with me also. Otherwise, I will not see. And these people who are existing around me, who are showing my faults, and it is very interesting also. We discuss this. Like somebody says that, okay, you are very your weight is excess, you do yoga and you go to gym and reduce your weight, we will get little offended, but we'll still do it because we know, okay, I'm separate my body. But when it comes to the subtle qualities, and the quality like greed, if somebody says you are very greedy, you are lusty, you are envious, you are selfish, it so much hurts because we so much identify with the subtle body. One thing is we don't want to give it up. Another thing is if somebody says we will not accept also. This is my personality. I don't want to give up my anarthas. This is how can I live without them? We don't want to give it up. For Krishna to remove anartha is not a big difficulty. Only thing is I am not asking him to remove. How will Krishna do anything without asking him? He says, "Ye yataman prapadnante." At least you ask me that I want to come out of it, I'll help you. But we don't ask only. So what Krishna can do? Because I don't want to get rid of it. I tried also, and it's difficult. Some problems are there, and I know I should pray to Krishna. I go pray, but I feel no, not now. So this is the state of affairs. So here, Lord Shiva is trying to explain very nice points. He says that, my dear beautiful wife, you have said that one may go to a friend's house without being invited, and this is true, provided such a friend does not find faults with the guest because of bodily identification. So this is the greatest problem because we identify with our body and definitely we will commit offenses. Bhakti is beyond three modes. Bhakti is nirguna. But we identify with the body, which is within the modes. What happens is we are doing something which is beyond modes, and then we come to the bodily conscious. When we are in bodily conscious, we will definitely find faults because of bodily identification. So this is the problem with many of the devotees. Some of them are beyond this, so for them it is easy. And then he gives another thing. He says, although the six qualities, education, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, and heritage, are for the highly elevated, one who is proud of possessing them becomes blind. So, three types of blindness we discussed. One is Madanda, Kamanda, and Janmanda, from birth and from lust. And thus he loses his good sense and cannot appreciate the glories of great personalities. Success is always sometime, most of the time it is dangerous only. Because person starts identifying with the body, he thinks I achieved this success. No, it is given to you for some time. and and even though there are so many lessons, that time a person cannot understand. It is even materialistic people understand, oh, this person is becoming proud. And then one fine day everything will come. And next shloka says this is very important. One should not go to anyone's house, even on the consideration of his being a relative or a friend. When the man is disturbed in his mind and looks upon the guest with raised eyebrows and angry eyes. So this instruction Sati did not follow. Of all the things, everything was, he agreed actually, whatever Sati said, and she told right only. But because she is, what happens is we quote whatever part we like. Sati also did the same thing. She wanted to make her point, so she quoted everything right. But she didn't quote some of the things which now Shiva is trying to remind her. But what about this? That, oh, you should not, okay, you can go without invitation to your friend's house, father's house, and your relative's house. But what about person who is having this type of mentality? Even one should not go to anyone's house, even on the consideration of his being relative, when the man is disturbed in his mind. And then he says that however low a person may be, he is never unkind to his children, wife, and nearest kin. Even a tiger is kind to its cubs. From within the animal kingdom, the cubs are treated very nicely. Since Sati was the daughter of Daksha, however cruel, contaminated he might be, naturally it was expected that he would receive her very nicely. But here it is indicated by the word anavastitha, that such a person cannot be trusted. So it is said tigers are very kind to cubs. It is also known that sometimes they eat them. So this is the problem. So here Daksha's mind is disturbed. That's why he cannot be trusted. Lord Shiva continued, if one is hurt by the arrows of an enemy, one is not as aggrieved as when cut by the unkind words of a relative, for such grief continues to rend one's heart day and night. So Sati may have concluded that she would take the risk of going to her father's house, and even if her father spoke unkindly against her, such would she would be tolerant as a son sometimes tolerate the reproaches of his parents. So this is what Sati may think, but that is actually what happens is what intensity they are spoken and how they are spoken. Like many of us, we got nicely from our parents. They might have given and we also gave back to our parents. We also might have said some things to our parents. But it does not matter. We don't take it too seriously. But some situations, it the words which they are spoken definitely hurts, and it goes for years and years and years, and that wound is very huge. And everybody gets this type of treatment. And what happens is the person is not responsible. It's our own karma comes back. That's all. But unfortunately, that person happened to be the instrument. So we remember the instrument more than we take responsibility for that action. See, I might have told so many people so many things. Like one time, one person, elderly person actually, he came first time to a temple, and he came to the lift, but somehow he didn't leave the chapel outside. And when the lift, you directly come to the temple on. So he came with chapel. I was so angry. I shouted, "How can you come? How can you come?" He's apologizing, but I was shouting. I felt so bad after that. Now I know that I'm going to get it in future, and it may come in a very heavy way. Now I feel bad that I that time I did, and like that I know many times I did to so many people, and I have to pay for it. Now what happens is, but when that situation comes to us, like somebody chastised me or somebody did something wrong to me, now I'll not remember that, oh, this is what the reaction for my activity, but I will only remember oh, this person treated me badly. This person treated me badly. Arey, what you did, you try to count that also, na? It is not coming by chance. Sarva karana karana. There is a cause behind everything. That's the first lesson we teach in the new people come and say, oh, everything has a cause. That means your suffering also has a cause. So if somebody is hurting me, there's a cause. Now, in case of Sati and all these great personalities, they don't have any, it's not their karma, that is for sure, but it's Lord's arrangement for the pastime to happen so that we all learn some lessons. So here Sati is going to go through the pain. But Lord Shiva reminded her that she would not be able to tolerate such unkind words because natural psychology dictates that although one can suffer harm from an enemy and not such so much because pain inflicted by enemy is natural. This is very important point. Please try to understand. Now, next line is so heavy. When one is hurt by the strong words of a relative, one suffers the effects continually day and night, and sometimes the injury becomes so intolerable that one commits suicide. The closer the person, maximum pain you can give. Whoever is the closest person to us, he gives the maximum pleasure, and rest assured, he will give the maximum pain. That is for sure. Say, if I love somebody so much, that person, if I am attached to somebody so much, he is the person who is going to give any all of us. This is a rule. Like, oh, this person never treats me bad. This is always he takes care of me nicely. He never he's so loving, caring. But one fine day, death will come and separate you from that person, and that causes maximum pain. And that is how we all suffer. Like, why everybody gets homesick? We all went to colleges, stayed in the hostel, and what we remember most is our mother only. Why? Because we got so much attached to her, and that's why we are getting that pain. No attachment, no pain. Now, who gave the maximum pain? Mother only gave. When I come to the college, the there will be ragging or something. That is not causing so much pain. More pain is homesick only. Because we want to be with our mother. We are attached. So maximum pain is coming from mother only in that way. So anybody whom we are close, wife, husband, or children when they go out for studying, then the parents suffer. Who is giving maximum pain to parents? Children only, because they are going away for studies and job and other things. So whoever is closest, they give the maximum pleasure. They give maximum pleasure also. That is also there. Same thing here also. If somebody speaks very harsh words, and if outside somebody is speaking, it does not matter. If our own people say that you are the most dumbest fellow and you are the most selfish, that's why wife and husband, they can give maximum torture to each other. Because wife will say some nice words and husband will say he will give back, and then they will give maximum. Why? What happens is they want to see that other person should feel that pain. In that mood, they will speak words, and it really hurts. And they are very attached, and this is the first word they hear after the nice 3 months, 3 days to 3 months of the unselfless love. Slowly, the veil of Mahamaya uh, will change, different curtain comes. Then the first word they hear is, I never thought you're so selfish. And then other partner will also say, yes, I also never thought you're so selfish. And from there, the whole whole cloud of enjoyment is destroyed. So anyway, that's a different topic. But what I'm telling is that maximum pain comes from our near ones. So it's all the best for everyone. My dear white complexioned wife, it is clear that of the many daughters of Daksha, you are the pet. Yet You will not be honored at his house because of your being my wife. Rather, you will be sorry that you are connected with me. And even Daksha is getting the same thing. See, Daksha's most favorite daughter is Sati, and she is giving maximum trouble to Daksha. Why? Because she did tapasya to marry Lord Shiva, and then he didn't have option. She started doing tapasya, and then all the demigods come. Then they request Brahma request Daksha to give her daughter to Lord Shiva. So Daksha didn't had option only, and that's why he's upset with Brahma. And now he's saying, "Arey, my most favorite. I want to give my daughter to the best person," and she choose the according to Daksha standard. Shiva is the lowest. Unfortunately, she gave the maximum trouble to Daksha also. So this is how nicely metal world is designed. Lord Shiva put forward the argument that even if Sati proposed to go alone without her husband, still she would not be received well because she was his wife. There was every chance of a catastrophe, even if she wanted to go alone. Therefore, Lord Shiva indirectly requested her not to go to her father's house. So this is the news. And then he says, one who is conducted by false ego. That means this falsely identifying. There's always distrust, both mentally and sensually, cannot tolerate the opulence of self-realized person. This is the problem. Like many of them, they criticize, they don't like the spiritual personalities. This is one of the reasons. They feel that these people are very lazy. They don't. Even like crores of people are coming to Kumbh Mela, but they don't like spiritual personalities. They are just coming, okay, we'll see whatever benefit is there, we'll take advantage of it. They don't like spirituality. They don't like spiritual people because of this reason. They're conducted by false ego. They're always distressed, both mentally and sensually, and cannot tolerate the opulence because of false ego only. Being unable to rise to the standard of self-realization, he envies such persons as much as demons envy the supreme personality of Godhead. Especially who is very proud of their money, for them it is difficult. And even if they are doing some rituals at home, they dictate the priest who comes. This much you should do, like this you should do, like this you should do. And priest is also least bothered. He knows I get my money and whatever they want, I will do and get away. They don't value only that. And that is actually so unfortunate situation. They're so dumb. Some simple things also they cannot understand. And now here Prabhupada is writing very nice purport. The real reason for enmity between Lord Shiva and Daksha is explained here. Daksha was envious of Lord Shiva's being, of Shiva's because of Shiva's high position as an incarnation of quality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and because Shiva was directly in contact with the Super Soul and was therefore honored and given a better sitting place than he. And that's what I was telling. Na? We will be envious of people above them. All the people are below Daksha in the creation, except for Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu he knows he worships. Actually, Daksha is a devotee. So he's worshipping Lord Shiva. He's doing so many yajnas to please Sorry, he's doing worship to please Vishnu. He's doing all these yajnas and all to please Vishnu. And Brahma is his father. He got all the knowledge from Brahma, so he is okay with Brahma. Now only the third person remaining who is coming on his way is Lord Shiva. He is very upset with it. This is what is Daksha's position. And and there are now here very important thing is Daksha, being materially puffed up, could not tolerate the high position of Lord Shiva, so his anger at Lord Shiva's not standing up in his presence was only the final manifestation of his envy. Before that, also he is envious. The Lord Shiva is always in meditation and always perceives the super soul as expressed here by the words Purusha Buddhi Sakshinam. The position of one whose intelligence is always absorbed in meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very great, and cannot be imitated by anyone, especially an ordinary person. When Daksha entered, see now Prabhupada is writing very nice. When Daksha entered the arena of Yajna, Lord Shiva was in meditation and might not have seen Daksha enter. But Daksha took the opportunity to curse him because Daksha had maintained an envious attitude towards Lord Shiva for a long time. Those who are actually self-realized see every individual body as a temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Paramatma feature is residing in everyone's body. So this is actually important point. When I am giving any trouble to any living entity, even an ant or any cockroach or anything, like now Prabhupada's father, he used to keep rice for rats in his shop so that it does not bite the clothes. He was having the garment shop. He was giving respect to rats also. So they respectfully ate and went away. They did not damage the clothes. And in the Vedic time, there are people who used to keep, in a saucer or something, some milk for snakes also. They used to drink and crawl away. Every living entity is respected in Vedic culture. Ants are also fed. Like if some women, they were having some, no, because of their health reasons, uh, for their cycles, if they have some problems and pain and other things, the solution is they have to feed ants. You feed ants, you will be free from that karma. So the ants are also given respect. And like that, all living entities, because Paramatma is there in the heart. So I was giving the example of like Bhima, why he did not cross over the monkey. He knows Paramatma is there in the heart. I cannot offend the Lord, every living entity. And what to speak of cutting, killing and eating them? It's very, very far. And here, this is Daksha maintained it. First, it was on a mental level. Then it comes verbal level, and now Daksha is manifesting at a verbal level. He just was envious in the mind. That's the reason. The problem is, if we are mentally we are offending, it comes in the words also. And it happened. I also have this experience. I maintain some negative feeling anybody, and slowly I start speaking about it. Somewhere or other it comes out. It's very dangerous. It's an offense. No need to. I am having this problem, that's why I'm trying to again and again speak, so that I'll come out of it. I wanted to come out of it, because when we speak we become conscious about it. Next time I am doing, I know this should not be done, this should not be done, this should not be done. That's the reason I am trying. Before this pastime ends, I want to repeat as many times as possible before this section ends, so that it stays in my consciousness to a long time. That's the reason. So here, Paramatma is there in everyone's heart. So, and we discussed also. Every day when I am chanting, I am putting water in the fire if I am doing this offense. So you can also see how much offenses we are doing every day to other living entities. That is the reason when we are doing, at least why so many devotees they talk about Varnashrama and all. These principles are all Varnashrama principles which are discussed here. That's the reason devotees they say Varnashrama, Varnashrama. Even though we don't need, but at least these principles are very, very conducive for our bhakti, which are not making us progress very fast. Prabhupada is writing, when we offer respect to the body, it is not to the material body, but to the presence of the Supreme Lord. Thus, one who is always in meditation of the Supreme Lord is always offering obeisances. So this is a very, very important. So Shiva is always offering obeisances. Since Daksha was not very elevated, he thought that obeisances are offered to the material body. When we are offering obeisances, we are offering to Paramatma in the heart of all living entities. And because Lord Shiva did not offer respect to his metal body, Daksha became envious. Such persons, being unable to rise to the standard of self-realized souls like Lord Shiva, are always envious. The example given here is very suitable. Asuras, demons, or atheists are always envious of the Supreme Personality of God. They simply want to kill him. Even in this age, we find some so-called scholars commenting on Bhagavad Gita who are envious of Krishna. When Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakto, always think of me, become my devotee and surrender unto me, the so-called scholars comment that it is not to Krishna that we have to surrender. That is envy. We were discussing now when Indra went to Vrindavan, he could not see Krishna, Supreme Lord. Indra is a devotee, but he could not see Krishna because he became envious of Brajavasis. He says, "Oh, they stopped my worship because he came with that anger and envy in his eyes. He could not understand who is speaking, your own Lord, who gave you the position." This is the problem. Why we are not able to see Krishna in the holy name? Why we are not? Because I have this envy and hatred and jealous in my heart. That's the reason. See, something, if I are only related to me, if I am lusty, that's only one level. But if I am, because of my thing, others are getting trouble, that is very serious. Then Krishna will not spare you. He will not make progress. See, if I am lusty, I am troubling myself. But if I am envious, I trouble others. If I'm hatred, if I'm having envy, jealous, that is trouble for others. So that is a problem. So here, the asuras are atheist. The demons, without reason or cause, are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, instead of offering respect to self-realized persons, foolish men who cannot approach the higher stand of self-realization are always envious, although there is no reason. So if we are properly respectful, like Narendra Modi, this is he first time when he elected in 2014, I think. He became the Prime Minister that time, 64 years old. So he submitted his application for the election. You have to fill the form, your nomination. So he nominated. He went and gave it in Rahukara, which is very, very inauspicious time. All the astrologers said, "Arey, very inauspicious time. Why did you submit at that time?" And after he elected, he said, "Everybody told me that I submitted my nomination in a wrong time, Rahu Kala. But I went to my mother, I took her blessings, and because of her blessings, I won." She was that time 90 or something. She was 80s. So that is the point. When we properly give respect and take blessings, the blessings part we'll discuss tomorrow. This part. But main point is how we get blessings by respect. We'll discuss tomorrow. This is a different topic. We are running out of time. So we'll take one questions. Yes, Sitakant. We're not able to hear you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandasvana. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, Prabhupada gives the example of that Artha Kukutinaya, that hen gives the golden eggs. So and he has to feed every day. So he's thinking that, front portion is not good, I have to feed. So we'll cut that hen.
Yeah.
He want to back. So similarly, like sometimes we get some instructions from the superiors, our authorities, spiritual authorities. Sometimes like the philosophy they use, Prabhuji, it's, I mean, sometimes we realize that the philosophy in whichever way they wanted to present, like that they're using, Prabhuji, like actually not for the purely for the benefit of the devotee they speak. Sometimes just for the organizational sake, or maybe some other purpose might be there. But they use Srila Prabhupada's purpose, and the same thing they use, and different they presented. How do we know that whether they're actually speaking for our benefit, or just their maybe purpose is different? Or
Yeah. We should have our own intelligence and discrimination. And say if they are talking about book distribution, so they may quote different thing and for inspire us to or want us to do for book distribution. We should always give benefit of doubt in terms of their intention. Their intention is, we should always think their intention is to help us to engage in proper service and to help us connected to the movement, and they'll be happy if I'm progressing. So always think that their intention is good. Sometimes the methods may be wrong. So that's not a problem. And we should have our own discrimination. We should know how much I have my capacity. Based on that, without judging, without committing any offenses, we try to do whatever is possible for us. So they will not tell you to break four regulative principles. No, at least they will tell you to do some service to Krishna only. So that's not a problem. You see according to your capacity. See what is the basic they want. They want either to make you distribute books or do some service in the temple or collect some donations, or they want you to do some preaching. So apart from that, they don't want anything. So they're all connected to Krishna only. It's a good only, no, in one way.
Like example, Roji, like when we're new to the devotion, so we were doing seva in some particular place. So we may not feel comfortable, whatever the reason, climate or whatever it may be. So then we present it. You say that you are disobeying authorities. If you do like that, you will not progress. But the same thing, some other senior devotee comes to wherever you feel comfortable, you do the seva. So there we could see, bro, the difference. Like, yeah, and we realize it later actually. In initial days, we will be will be fearful. Oh, authorities, we'll be thinking, okay, I'm not following authorities. I'm unable to do whatever may be the reasons. So I'm not progressing in devotional life, and the Guru will not be pleased. Krishna will not please because I'm deserving authorities. So these kind of situations sometimes we face.
Yeah, so this is sometimes unfortunate actually. If authorities they are using that method to tell, okay, you have to just they have to because one very important thing is materially we should be stable to be stable in spiritual life also. See, if my health is not cooperating, if I stay at one place, then I should change the place. Then only I'll be able to do nicely. If
Yes,
any of this it is not fitting for our. Sometimes people want little luxury and all. If that is not so much, but if somebody is genuinely having some health issues, if they are having some, it's the place is not very comfortable and very austere, then also they need not do in such places. See, Prabhupada time it was emergency, but there is no emergency now. Emergency is for our personal life only. We should stably do it. Whatever place is comfortable for you to focus and meditate on Krishna, that is the place we should be and practice our bhakti. So that is very much recommended. Yeah, that is actually their sincerity. They should clarify with other senior devotees if it is not clear for them. They should take the responsibility to get it clarified from other senior devotees also, whether I am disobeying my guru by not doing it. Sometimes very senior people also they try to do it, but we should. It happens also for many people. I,
yes, bro.
organization is there, but
Yes, bro.
the responsibility of individual. Bhakti is individual. It's not organization. Organization gives a support for us, but ultimately, it's we should not do organizational bhakti. We should do constitutional bhakti, not institutional bhakti. Institutional bhakti is like that. We should do constitutional.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one more thing, Prabhuji, I do not find much difference between asadu and asadu tara, Prabhuji. In asadu, things that someone's good qualities, he is seeing the both the good qualities and bad qualities in the case of asadu. And asadu tara, he sees faults only, overlooking the good qualities. So asadu also seeing the bad qualities, and asadu tara is also. I do not find much difference, Prabhuji, between asadu and asadu
Oh,
tara.
we see both, and we also fall sometimes in sometimes we see bad only in others, sometimes we see good only. Like if I like this person is my friend, then even if something bad is there, I'll overlook. If he's my enemy, even if good is there, I overlook the good things. I see bad things. So we also sometimes become like this, sometimes become like this. So what I am highlighting, I may see both the things, but what I am highlighting is where I fall in.
Prabhuji, Asad is also saying the good bad qualities now, Prabhuji.
We see, but I
Uh,
don't highlight it. Seeing
uh,
is there. You don't highlight them. Like if I have my children or my counselors, I see the bad thing, but I don't highlight. I see them. If my enemy is there, I'll definitely highlight the bad things.
oh, acha, acha, acha. Okay, okay, okay.
What you are highlighting.
Prabhuji, this Ati Asadatama, he sees only faults in others, even where there are no faults. So how is it, Prabhuji, when there are no faults? How
Like
can
no,
he?
Daksha is there now. There is no fault in Lord Shiva. He is able to find it. That is the greatness. Even if you don't have any also. Like people can fault, people can find fault in Yudhishthir Maharaj. People can find fault in any great personality also.
Sometimes I mean, in a day-to-day life, we come across this kind of devotees. Life will be very tough then.
We should
Like
not
we have to.
associate. We should keep distance from them. We should respectfully keep distance. We are not envious of them, but we keep distance.
Mm. So I've seen this kind of people. Even though some devotees doing a nice service, they criticize them. Their personal life they criticize. Like they take some reasons and yeah, they
That
like
is their problem, bro. Whoever is criticizing, na,
uh,
that is their own personal problem.
nothing
They
to do
have
with
to
the
change
devotee,
their.
right?
That is they're like going 100 kilometers. They're doing sadhana and sometime 99 kilometers they're coming back. Or even 100 kilometers they're coming back. They'll stay there only.
And one thing, Raj, one comment we generally hear from public is like ISKCON devotees, they're very luxurious, they travel in planes, they travel in trains. Like very frequently we hear this kind of comments. They criticize the authorities. So how do we answer them wrong? Because their service are like that, and uh, they're doing important services, and for that sake they're doing that. I know, and that we know, but outsiders know, like at least like they're not full time also, they come to the temple. They're also devotees, not like full time, but they very negatively speak about it. So how do we counter it, or we have to present, I mean we have to explain them, or just try to neglect, or
Yeah, we have to see based on the situation. You have to give the answer. Like now, going in AC and flight is not a luxury. Anybody is going now, and car is also having AC, and because outside pollution is, so they travel like that. And
yeah,
some devotees, they like we have some devotees like they only travel in public transport.
yes,
Shankadari Prabhu and all.
yes,
He's he's a bureau member. Even
yes,
though temple president and all, from railway station to temple he has to come. He will take public transport. He will never go by auto or cab also.
yes.
Some devotees like that who are very 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 austere. And some
No, I
devotees,
may not do no, Prabhuji. I may not do that much austerity, right? I mean, it depends on the devotee. The austerity levels are different. One can take the most, I mean, they can take more austerities. I may not take up more. Like, it depends on the devotee, no, Prabhuji. It
you
not,
tell it's based on the health, it is a requirement, it's a need of the hour. Some people they are doing some responsible services, they travel all the time in flights only.
yes, Prabhuji.
We should also appreciate, okay, they are doing that, they are not taking, if somebody comes and comments, Arey, ISKCON people are going luxury, you tell they are not taking your money, no, you don't give it. Don't give your money. They are not asking to sponsor. So, so you can tell them that you need not give any donation, or you, if you feel that they are not using properly, you don't give donation like that. You just give some kind items. You can give rice, dal, sabji, and directly it will. Don't give money if you feel that they are doing like that.
So by frequently hearing that also, sometimes we will, okay, we are in public also, we have to be, I mean, like, we have to be careful, like how we are presenting yourselves. That kind of thoughts will come from you. We'll try to compromise by hearing public's criticism. We're setting a wrong example to the organization. I think we may not go to that extent now, Rauji, because we know we're sincere what we're doing. Yes,
We should also be careful in not showing off in front of others.
yes,
All the time. They should also not know how we are doing all the time. If you are wearing a Rolex watch and some fancy watches, some I know, like sometimes I travel in metro with laptop, but I never want to show that I am carrying laptop to public because they'll feel that he's trying to. They should not feel envious. He's a sadhu. Why he's having such luxury?
but
So
our service
avoid
is
some
getting
luxury.
disturbed about it. Your service is getting disturbed, right? So we
We
can
have
open
to,
something
that
last
is
week.
also service, not to disturb the mind of general people. That is also service.
So we have to have a line. Means we have to see like how the maximum we can avoid.
Like say if my sister or my sister's daughter or some of them my close family they are traveling with me. I should be careful because people don't know, na, she's my sister or she's my sister's daughter.
Yes, Prabhu.
So then public don't know. I'm in Saffron, so they will think, "Arey, why he's traveling and he's having some friend or something." So
We should not create this kind of
so we
doubts
had to.
also.
That is also preaching. So we should be careful when we are traveling public with our own people.
Oh,
So we
oh,
should not disturb the mind of others. Also, they don't
even
know.
probably in temples also we see some congregation duty, na? Like they say brothers and sisters, they move very closely, and they almost the time they're alone together. So a lot of devotees and comment, express their doubt. Probably they are doing things like this. So they are they are brothers and sisters. But the way they are behaving, in the public, it's creating distance. Maybe they were pure also. They might be pure. But yeah, this kind of the better devotees always they should know about in front of public aware being. We should not create any doubts on that stage.
Yeah.
It's not correct, bro. And can we tell them probably in the temple some
No,
devotees we should not comment and all.
don't tell. You manage authority should tell.
Oh, acha. Fine, bro. Fine. Okay. Thank you.
One question in the chat box.
Okay, bro. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you all very much. We'll end here.